Welcome to Diaspora Scholars TV. So today we are working at the beautiful University of Iowa campus, right?
Yes.
And I'm working with Dr. Frankline Matanji. Wonderful. So you are done?
Yeah, I graduated last year in August.
You graduated last year. Now you say you are an associate research scientist at the Department of Psychiatry.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. I wanted you to tell us a little bit about the opportunities that are available, on this campus when you are coming to grad school. Tell us a little bit more about the funding. Was your years here fully funded?
Yeah, so when I came here in 2019, I had funding during academic year.
Yeah.
And then the university also gave me a summer funding, so I was fully funded throughout the year.
Yeah.
I was funded teaching or doing research during the academic year, and then during summer when there's no teaching, the university still gave me a summer fellowship.
Wow, so you are fully funded the entire 5 years?
Yes.
Oh my God. And that time we are talking about funding in which area?
So actually, in addition to just my fellowship and my academic funding, we have a series of fellowships and scholarship grants that you can apply. So I was always had these opportunities. I have funding, yes, but I could also apply for grants. I could apply for fellowships. This is money that still
fund for the
research. Yes.
Wow. So looking, over there on that camera, what can you tell people in Kenya, about applying to come to the US, particularly at the University of Iowa? What can you tell them?
So one thing I've learned, at least through my own experience applying for PhD and encouraging my other friends as well to apply, one thing you need to put in, and I know my friend Lomoyuara mentioned this as well, it is a journey. It's not just something you start today and expect an admission tomorrow. It is a journey, and I've encouraged this. For example, I remember encouraging my friend Lul, who's now doing her PhD at Bowling Green State University
in Ohio.
It's a long journey, that if you plan to start, for example, to apply in December, start now, like in April, May, start working on, if you have any research project maybe that you've ever thought of, or someone who's doing research, go gain some experience, get some experience doing research, because most programs here in the US, these are research. For example, here at the University of Iowa, it's a research institution. So they want to know, okay, if we are going to admit you, can you do research? If we are going to admit you, can you teach? Depending with the field. Some fields you don't have to teach, some fields you have to teach. So can you do research, can you teach? The only way for you to show that they want to see it, have you ever done it before? I remember when I was applying to come to the US, I had done some funded research by USDA when I was at Kisii University, and that played a big role in my admission, because I only applied for my master's, only applied to one institution, and I got it, Bowling Green.
Wow.
Yes, so even when I was applying for PhD, just mentioning that I've worked on this research.
And USDA is a government institution, the US institution side. So you had a lot of already background that was very fundamental in you getting into these research programs, including the skills you learned that time.
Yes. And those skills, I was able to apply them when I came here. So what I will just encourage anyone who is interested in applying is start working the journey now. Do some research if you can. Start working on your resume, create connections, because when you're applying, you need reference letters. You need people to write reference letters for you. Start creating connections now. Reach out to people. Try and identify people who are studying maybe the same program as what you are interested in. Reach out to them, consult with them. How did you get here? If they are also international students, say in the US, reach out to them, ask them how did they get here? How did their journey start? There is always something we can learn from other people's journey, and I'll give you an example of how I learned about myself. Before I came here, I was working at Kisii University, and while there, we used to have international scholars, Kenyan international scholars who are working in the US, who will come back to give back to Kenyan societies. So I met these two professors, Professor Kefa Otiso from Bowling Green State University and Professor Christine Mathenge from Austin P State University in Tennessee. I reached out. I was like, okay, I know you guys went to the US. How did you do it? How did you get yourself there? I've been planning to go into grad school, but I just don't know how to start. Like, what do I do? And they encouraged me, they advised me on what steps to take. And then I applied, I got into it, I was admitted. So, reaching out.
Actually, your academic fathers.
Yes, reaching out, creating these connections, learning already ahead of you. When you start working on your application material, sending your cover letter, your statement of purpose, sending your CV to these people who are already in the US, just helping you review the material, give you ideas on, okay, this is an area you can improve, this one you did really well, now just strengthen it in this area. That can be very helpful.
You mentioned some documents there. Maybe could you take us, a little bit slowly on some of the materials you need while applying for graduate school? You said, of course, your academic papers, you need a statement of purpose,
CV, and sometimes
CV,
reference letters.
A reference letter.
Yes.
So what is a statement of purpose?
So a statement of purpose is basically, it's like a cover letter when you're applying for a job. So it explains who you are, your academic experience, if do you have any work experience, what are you interested in studying, do you have any experience maybe in that field, or have you done any other kind of research? And then you can also mention in the cover letter, like, have you maybe reached out to the professors in the school you're planning to apply to? If you haven't, have you identified maybe like 2 or 3 professors that you like to work with, that you think your research interest area aligns with what they are studying? Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And you're open to helping people, because I know I talked to some of the people I've met at the Bowling Green State University in Ohio, like Lul Hassan, for example, and they mentioned your name quite a bit. So I'm figuring that you are open to helping people still.
Oh yes, I'm always willing to help, because as I mentioned, and I always tell my friends, for you to see me here today, it means there are so many other hands that touched my life. So I'm always willing to help. If anyone reaches out to me, you can reach out to me either in social media by my name, Frankline Matanji. I'm always willing to respond if you reach out, and in whichever way I can advise you, I'm always willing to do that.
You're always willing to do that, indeed. And for sure, I mean, I spoke to you earlier, and it's very clear that it doesn't matter, the humble beginnings of where you came from, right?
Yes, no, it doesn't matter. I always remember when I was in high school, it was like pretty rural high school. Actually went to school barefooted, but so we had this high school.
Meaning you are walking to school without shoes?
Yes. We had this high school teacher who used to tell us that the roots of education are very bitter, but the fruits are very sweet, and that message has never gone away from my mind. I always remember that message, and that's one thing I can tell you, that however, it doesn't matter what kind of background you come from, all you need is just the determination to achieve whatever you like to achieve. And plus, I believe in God too. Add prayer on it, and you just do your best.
The hands that have touched you includes the hand of God.
Yes.
You are talking of fruits. Now you are working right now. I think the fruits are very sweet, right?
I would like to believe so.
I think they are sweet because I think you are, very happy indeed because you've been able to go the entire journey. And what is striking to me is how you've been able to establish good relations where you study and then you eventually get employed there. Can you speak to that a little bit?
So, when I finished high school, I worked at my previous high school. We are just coming up with a library.
You started in high school?
Yes.
Wow.
We didn't have a library back then, so I was the first librarian in that school because we didn't have a library then. So I worked there before I went to college. And then when I went to college,
that's Mira
Secondary School.
Mira Secondary School. That is in Matungu constituency.
Mayoni sub-location, Kakamega County.
Kakamega County.
Yes.
Wow.
So I worked at my previous high school as I waited. In Kenya you have to wait for some time before you go to college. And then I went to Kisii University, graduated, got a job there as a research assistant. And I came to the US. I didn't work at Bowling Green State University because I had to transition immediately to come to Iowa. So I came here, I worked here at the University of Iowa. I studied here at the University of Iowa, graduated in August 2024 and started working here the same August.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is amazing. You are incredible. You are very resilient, I must say. And I mean, we can't keep on, encouraging you to keep doing what you are doing.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted you to speak to the Muira Secondary School students. I mean, if there are teachers who are still there who taught you, I mean, talk to them, particularly those students right now on that camera, so that, they can know that it's possible to do this. It's possible to believe in books, right? You are a librarian. It's possible to believe in those and change your life for good. Talk to Muira Secondary students.
Okay, both Muira Secondary students and Muira Primary students.
Yes, yes.
So, to my family at Muira Primary and Muira Secondary School, when I was studying there, at first, I wasn't dreaming big. You know when you're coming from the village and you haven't really seen people who've especially gone outside the country.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't have these big dreams.
Yeah.
But what changed my life one day was when my uncle graduated with his undergraduate degree, and I took photos with his graduation gown. And so after that, I used to pray. Yes. So I used to pray, asking, I will ask God, this was my uncle's graduation. What will I tell my children? If they ask me, Daddy, how about your graduation? What will I say? So that was a big motivation.
What is the name of your uncle and which degree did he graduate in at that time?
So my uncle is called Philip Roy Juma. He has a degree in electronic engineering.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And actually,
from which university?
From Moi.
Moi University.
Yes.
Which year was that?
Let me say, it was in around 2008. Yeah.
That's when you saw the vision of where you want to be.
And I have to mention this because when I was in high school, most of half of my time in high school I was always at home because I didn't have school fees, and my uncle played a big role because after his graduation he didn't really go into looking for a job. He wanted to do business, so he started a small business back home, and then he learned that I had dropped out of school because I didn't have school fees.
Oh wow.
So he came to the school where I had dropped out of school from. He went to talk to the principal, requested the principal if he could come, leave his business alone, come teach at that school, and then his entire salary went to my school fees, and that's how I managed to finish high school. So once I finished, he went back to his business.
You owe a lot to him.
I know. I don't know how to repay him.
He literally sacrificed his life for you.
Me. Yes.
You are not going to fail after that.
I know, you can't fail. And then once with that, plus
he left his business and came to teach at the school for free.
Yes.
So that the entire salary was to go to your tuition.
Yes. Yes.
What was his name again?
Roy Philip Juma.
Roy Philip Juma, if you ever watch this show, I mean, this is a story of course, your son right here. I mean, Dr. Frankline Matanji. And I must say, I'm not surprised at what I've heard about you. Now I can know where it came from. Because now I can connect the dot, because I've spoken to some people whom you have helped and mentored who keep saying you've been very helpful to them and you tried your best to make sure they come in the US. I can see where it came from. It's not only Roy Juma, it's also actually the hand of God in all this.
So many other people. When I was at Kisii University, I had this, he's a Catholic father, he's called Brother Francis Kerongo.
Francis
from
Kerongo.
Kisii University. He's now at the Kenyan coast. He's like my second dad. He was very supportive. I remember when I was going for US visa interview, he literally paid everything for me. He made sure I got it. He was like my dad there, making sure he's like my son. He calls me my son. My son, how are you doing? How is everything? I'm still always in touch with him.
What is it? Where is he now?
He's in Coast. I can't remember. I met him when I was in Kenya in 2022. We met in Diani. Around that region, I don't remember the name anymore.
Oh wow! And the good thing is that you remember all the people who helped you in your journey of success. Wonderful, really incredible. That's why we do this at Diaspora Scholars TV, folks. This is the story of Dr. Frankline Matanji. He mentions many people who have been instrumental in his life. But I can't forget about Roy Juma. You had to wear his graduation gown. You visualize that that's where you are going.
Yes.
Now we are calling you Dr. Frankline Matanji.
Yes.
in the US.
Yes.